good, Cass, or no? Sorry, Cassidy's sitting like across from me playing a game, so I'm making sure that she doesn't need anything before I lock her into a position where she can't move for a little while.
She is fine. This is our moment.
Hello and welcome to the Minimum Effort Podcast. Today I am joined by David again, and it's gonna be an interesting one. Today, we have a impressionist, we have a major collaborator, and we have an all-around great person. If you would, David, introduce yourself if I didn't already do enough.
Oh, I'm so flattered. I don't know if more I could add to that. Yeah, pretty much. Hello, everybody. This is David Stylz. I am an impressionist and voice actor. Pretty much the majority of my YouTube content is around that, but I have slowly expanded out to different variety of content, whether that is doing challenges, tests, or even gaming content. So, but yeah, pretty much if you want cartoon impressions, doing song covers and things like that, I'm your guy.
So, what would you say is your most ridiculous impression that you've done?
Most ridiculous?
Yeah, like just goofy, ridiculous.
I mean, I like the really out there characters that are usually not too common. So whether they're from older Disney films or, well, even ones that may sound simple, but they're a little extravagant. I mean, SpongeBob's a good example of that. So, you know, he's high pitched, but I think what a lot of people just don't understand is it's more than just getting the tone. It's really getting mannerisms and expressions. And if you can nail those, you can pretty much get away with not nailing the tone.
Oh, I get what you're saying. There's more to it than just hitting the note.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey Mouse is a good example. There's been 4 different voices doing him, so people argue on what sounds like the correct Mickey Mouse, but he's been done 4 different times. And I'm like, just pick your poison, I don't care.
No, I get what you're saying. So, there's a lot of people in the voice acting community and a lot of people in the impression community. Would you say there's like a lot of overlap, or would you say like there's more one than the other?
Are we talking in regards of like it being oversaturated, or like what makes people stand out?
Yeah.
Well, I always welcome people that try to do impressions, because you know, if you post something like that online for people to see, you're very vulnerable and you're going to be easily judged.
Oh, you're going to be beaten down with criticism.
I appreciate if people. My voice coach told me this one time. She said, because I told her, I was like, well, I don't want to be well known for mimicking other people's work. It's just something fun I do. And she's like, you need to understand that learning to do impressions gives you a better ear on how to pick up and actually create something to make your own. So it is a God-given talent, but it's kind of like when a singer, it's similar to like when a singer tries to cover a song. It's just you can automatically hit the note, hit the pitch, you know exactly where to go. So, you know, for me, it's more than just mimicking a voice. I try to get the mentality and be the character. So I think it's, honestly, it's really goofy and fun to do. And I always encourage people to just get out there and just have fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're having fun, then you're making progress. I mean, regardless if you're good, bad, I mean, fun is what it's all about. That or just learning from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it is. There's a lot of people, but it's nowhere close to being oversaturated, because most people either aren't, you know, don't have the confidence to give it a shot, or, you know, they're not good and they don't practice, and then they get bashed by people, and then they just stop doing it.
So, do you have a voice actor that stands out in your mind as like an inspiration, or as someone you like look up to in the community?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I definitely have different references, or different types of inspirations, I could say. You know, I was a Star Wars fan ever since I think I was 4 when I saw New Hope for the first time, and when I was, I think I was 16. I don't know why it took me that long to discover this, that I found out that Mark Hamill was the Joker. And so when I realized he was a voice actor for years, he actually voiced a character from one of my favorite games of all time, which is Dark Cloud 2. And I found out he was the main villain.
Yeah.
And I was so excited and pumped about it, so I got more into that. So I would say definitely him. It's more than just their talent. It really is their energy and their persona that would make a voice actor be one of my favorites. Matthew Mercer, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna bring him up. He is one of my favorites, not just for voice acting, but for other things he does in the world.
Oh, yeah. If I ever need a dungeon master, he's available. Please, Matthew.
Oh, I agree 100%. Like, I do a regular D&D weekly, sometimes more than weekly, with my friends and my girlfriend, and Matthew has been a very big inspiration for that, and I don't know, I just think he's a really all-around good voice actor as well. I mean, the things he's in, I feel like he fills his character well. Same as Mark Hamill, I feel like they both have very good energy and style for what they're doing. Like, it's hard to imagine someone else voicing the Joker, and it happens a lot, but Mark Hamill's Joker is amazing, you know? Like, he did all the Arkham games and the old animated cartoon, but it's such an iconic Joker voice, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If there was one person where I say, like, variety of talent, probably Mel Blanc, if we're going to go a little old school. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, there's like a little bit of scattered others, but those are like my initial reaction or first thought when it comes to answering that question. So there's a lot of great talent out there, but those are the ones that probably stand out the most for me.
So why do you think we haven't seen a live-action Joker with Mark Hamill?
I think, well, aside from age, you know.
You think that's the only thing?
Well, I think the closest we were ever going to get that is when he appeared in Gotham, the show.
Yeah.
And played, I forgot his villain's name, but, I mean, he pretty much sounded like the Joker the entire time. So, I would say that's probably the best we'll get out of that. I don't know if, I would assume he would do it if they offered it to him. But, because he loves pleasing the fans.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is why people love him so much. But I'm going to assume due to age, maybe that's why, unless he's somehow contracted to not being allowed to do Joker, aside from...
Yeah, he's contracted to Disney because of Star Wars.
Yeah,
So he wouldn't be allowed to work with WB for DC.
I mean, the fact that he's not doing it anymore, and he's having other people that do a fantastic job mimicking that voice.
Yeah, but he's the icon. Know what I mean?
Yeah, my thought is he probably retired from it. So, but he'll always pay homage to it every time he goes to Comic-Con or something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Someone's gonna ask him to do it, and he'll whip it out like nobody's business. You know?
Yep, absolutely.
So another voice actor that just stands out, like I can't see anyone else doing the role well, is Matthew Lillard. I don't know if you know who that is.
Remind me who he did.
He did the live-action version of Shaggy, and then every iteration of animated Shaggy ever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I wasn't the biggest Scooby-Doo fan.
I was a huge Scooby-Doo fan, but that was just, it was a big part of my childhood, you know?
Well, I did watch it every weekend. Like, I was a fan, but, you know, if I had that over, like, the handful of other two cartoons that were showing up, I would probably pick over it. But I've watched plenty of Scooby-Doo. But, like, for the type of show that it was, you know, even as a kid, it was pretty easy to figure out who the villain was. So,
yeah.
I think I was really more into, like, Tom and Jerry and well, that was when Cartoon Network really was, and Nickelodeon was really making great shows at the time.
The golden age, yeah.
I was watching Ed, Edd n Eddy, Powerpuff Girls, Courage the Cowardly Dog, even though they gave me nightmares. And,
Dude, Courage the Cowardly Dog was a very big learning point for me. It's what helped me discover that I love the horror genre. You know, like Courage the Cowardly Dog was great.
Especially when the show Goosebumps came out. I mean, I had already read like 30 of the books, and I was super excited about it, and it was terrifying, but as a kid, I was like fascinated by it.
But as an adult, you look at Goosebumps now, and you're like, yeah, you didn't age well.
Well, yeah, you could definitely tell, like, someone could easily outdo the effects on just their laptop today.
Oh yeah. I mean, I couldn't.
for me, I have the mentality where I can have the appreciation for what something was for its time and still enjoy it.
No, I totally understand that.
Yeah, it will still stand out. I mean, I tried to play Fallout New Vegas last week.
It's good.
Yeah, but I had not played it in years, and I had been playing Fallout 4 nonstop for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so, because I hadn't played it so long, I realized how drastic the graphics were. But New Vegas was my favorite game because of the story. But I'm now spoiled by the graphics of Fallout 4, and so I spent some hours playing New Vegas, but I had to stop because I was just like, yeah, I appreciate you, but I like the variety that some of the newer stuff is giving me.
No, I understand that entirely.
Now, if they remaster an old game, that's a different story. When they remastered Final Fantasy X, I was all over that.
They're remastering it again, but it's coming out on the Switch and the Xbox here, like, next year. I already pre-ordered it. That's one of my favorite Final Fantasy games, was 10.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to put out another console, I don't know if I'll buy another console, but we'll see. You know, times change.
I'm getting it on the Switch just because I don't have a PlayStation, and that was a big game for my childhood. I played Final Fantasy X on the PS2 way more than any one human being should have.
Yeah, I think all my favorite games, or almost all my favorite games of all time, have all been on the PS2. You know, aside from you had whatever console your parents bought you.
Yeah.
But, you know, back then, you know, there weren't. I mean, that was really where games were getting split up, depending on what console had it. You know,
yeah.
Like, you want to be Halo? Well, you got to do Xbox. If you want Ratchet and Clank, you got to go do PlayStation. So
you want that Marrow? You better get a Nintendo.
Yeah, almost all my favorite games of all time are easily from the PS2.
I can respect that. I mean, my favorite game of all time is Borderlands. That's a big game for me. It's a big franchise for me. And I've spent
It's a fantastic franchise.
Spent way more time in it. I've beaten the game 86 times. Borderlands 2.
Well, it's one of my younger brother's favorite. Well, it is my younger brother's favorite game of all time, and me and him have co-opted probably at least 100 hours together on that alone. And that was just when we were playing together, not even on our own.
No, I get you there. So, what games have you done for your channel? You said you were branching out into challenges and gaming content and other things like that. What else have you done for your channel besides The Impressionists?
Well, the gaming is brand new. I just started that. I literally just started playing Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Which is, it turns out it's a really long game, so that's going to be a long series, so I might have to throw in some random gameplay of other stuff. I tried making, like, Overwatch montages, but I'm so sick and tired of the Overwatch toxic community that I eventually just had to play it. It got too serious for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, people took it way too seriously for a lot of it.
Like, we have tryouts for you to join our team, dude. I got an hour to spare. Like,
I just want to play the game. Let me be.
Yeah, I still love the game. Like, Overwatch really did, change the market and things like that for me. And and props to Blizzard for the amount of work and passion they put into it. But other gaming content, I'll probably do like horror games, just good reaction, and I like the suspense and horror in general. But until then, the only thing I'll probably branch out is what my followers want. So some of them want me to do like Reddit 50/50 challenge. I might do some reaction stuff, but I don't want to be well known as a reaction channel. That's just too many problems, and if you keep doing that, it's really a gamble if you're ever able to monetize anything.
Oh yeah. The reason I started doing this was just to have something I could do on a weekly basis. I know I already failed that this year, and people have very much reminded me that, but, I mean, we'll get past it and we'll make it work, right? But, I don't know, that's one of the reasons this came into existence, was just so I was creating something,
Consistency. That is really the number one thing you should focus on. Being consistent, slowly always trying to improve the quality whenever you can. And Yeah, I mean, obviously you keep getting a ton of practice asking questions, being an interviewer, and that always will get better over time. So, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for people just trying to start any type of channel whatsoever. It's excuse me, consistency.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm a part of a Reddit community called NewTubers.
As am I. I'm part of there too.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's how we met. I don't know why that passed my mind.
I didn't know if we met on NewTubers or if we met on Collaboration Requests, which is another subreddit.
No, you posted on a couple different ones. I think you posted on the voice acting community that I was also a part of. But
I think so. I was just trying to reach out to people, creators, you know?
Yeah, but I have people hit me up all the time because I used to. I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to do the weekly critique other people's videos.
Yeah.
And I would give my honest feedback, but at least once a week I'm helping somebody out, like personally one-on-one on the side, just helping them improve their audio. Because that's all I work with, and it's a huge pet peeve for me. And in almost every review I'm going to give somebody, I'm always saying improve your audio.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it has to be the visuals. They think I can just be funny and that'll do it. No. Having good audio is not necessarily something someone looks for, but it's like a hidden gem that just improves the experience for a viewer.
I can honestly say as a viewer, I've backed out of channels just because their audio's garbage or I don't like the way they say things, and I'm not trying to be like mean or I'm not going to call anybody out, but it's like I don't like the way their dialect is, where it's like they speak in this dialect and I don't think it's appealing, you know, or their audio quality is rather garbage, and then those type of people I'll back out entirely, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of those channels that I'll come across is usually small, upcoming YouTubers, and they're either trying to mimic what a bigger channel's already successfully doing, or they're just being something they're not, which is this over-hyper, fast-paced talking, silly, you know, coked-up, high-energy type of persona that most people just never do. And the one thing that I will see right away is, like, there is no way you'll be able to keep that up. Like, people want originality. They want you to be yourself. Those are the people that are successful. You know, I mean, Jack Black, Jablinski Games. It's just Jack Black. He doesn't even have to add all those little edits. He could literally just sit down and talk.
And people would watch.
And people would watch. Joey Coco Diaz.
Speaking of Jack Black, before we trail too far off, have you been watching it, Jack Black?
Absolutely. I subscribed.
Still no gaming.
I mean, you know, when he was first starting out, you know, he would literally, his fan base was 50-50. People either hated him or they loved him because his humor it's silly.
Yeah, it's goofy, and that's the character he's playing, and as a character, it's the Jack Black persona, not to say that he's a fake human being. I'm saying, like, there is some exaggeration here. Know what I mean?
Yeah, and over the course of literally this last decade, because he's been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
He is just getting more and more of a younger generation that obviously grow up alongside with that.
Or alongside his movies, at the very least.
That really, there's just something about his persona that just makes you want to see him even more. He's just entertaining, literally just being himself.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was a fan. I loved School of Rock, but I became a true Jack Black fan when I saw Nacho Libre. I know a lot of people hate it, but there's a lot of people that love it, and I'm one of those people. Like, the movie shouldn't make sense. It shouldn't be really funny, but Jack Black makes it funny.
Oh, yeah. I totally understand.
You know, Kung Fu Panda was written for him. It makes total sense why they had him be Poe. You know, and then you find out that Tenacious D's been around for a long time.
Since my entire life, basically.
Yeah, and I love this entire, what do you call it? This act or this little trickery or skit that he's doing on his channel where it's saying, haven't figured out the gaming, but we're going to do gaming. He's never going to game. This is his thing.
Hey, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I love that. You know, a lot of gamers are like, I think it'd be a bonus, like, we'd really like to see gaming. No, he does not need to do gaming. I say stick to what he's doing and just keep it that way.
Oh yeah, his fan base is happy with what he's doing, and I don't know if you watched the video he put up last Friday, but he went through the whole efforts of doing a green screen to fake gaming.
Playing Fortnite.
Yeah, to fake gaming, and I thought that was really funny. Like, that was way overkill. He could have took a screen capture of someone else playing the game and then just overlaid the video, but to go all the way through with a freaking green screen, he knows how to make an Elgato work if he can figure out how to set that up, you know?
Well, he's got his sons. There's no excuse.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He fooled me for, like, maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But then, when I saw how he was holding the controller, I'm like, no one holds it up that high. So...
No one pushes the A button to shoot.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would like to see him do, gaming-wise, is just randomly come across a fan. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, if he played, like, fan-made games about him.
Yeah, that's, whatever he's gonna play, you know. If it happens to be Fortnite, fine.
More pinball.
Yeah, so, I'm really excited for him. There's, you know, it's really a hit and miss with these celebrities that come on and try to go over the top with production quality and stuff, but for me, it's Persona first, and I'm excited for what more he has to offer us.
Oh yeah, I think out of all the high-end, you know, big online personas, Jack Black definitely is one of the most accepted on this platform.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's mainly because, you know, he appeals to his fans. Like, he appeals to the demographic. Pandering is not the right word, but I'm gonna say pandering. Know what I mean? And people like the late night television hosts, they don't really have content for YouTube. They have content for TV. Know what I mean?
Yeah, talk shows are much different. It's just a different area of what happens behind the scenes, you know, what they're doing. It's one thing for, what's great about YouTube is you can be your own director, your own writer, your own host, and say and do pretty much whatever you want as long as it's not, you know, beyond, like, we're shutting you down, how dare you.
Yeah.
But, you know, when it comes to late nights, you know, because of how consistent they have to be, you know, almost all those hosts have writers.
Oh yeah, they all have staff.
Daily. And so, you know, there's very few people that I'll watch all the time. You know, like I love Conan. He's not as big if you're counting like subscriber followers and stuff like on YouTube.
Yeah.
But his persona is 100% him. That's what makes him great. You know, Jimmy Fallon is literally 50-50 with people. People are like, he's so fake. You know, he's trying too hard. And then you look at him when he's young on SNL, and I'm like, he doesn't really look that different from him laughing at pretty much everything. So,
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, obviously, do I think there's some part of him that's always trying to, like, overcompensate or trying a little hard because it's for TV? Yes, absolutely. It's way different than being live on a skit, you know, and being pressured by your funny friends to try to laugh, you know, while you're trying to be professional. So, but that's late night talk shows, you know. I'll just watch games or the fun celebrity segments, and that's about it. It's changed a lot. It's not as great as, like, watching just a great sit down with, like, Dave Letterman and things like that.
No, I totally get what you're saying. So, another question. Do you think that there is anyone with a personality that is so realistic but entirely not them? Like, do you think someone puts on such a good personality that no one knows that that's not them?
Eminem, Slim Shady.
You think so?
Yeah, I think his tough guy persona is some of it's for TV. Now, do I think like he's probably is he like really tough and you shouldn't mess with him? Absolutely,
But I don't think he goes around threatening people.
but with so much time that has passed on now, ever since his upbringing, and he's a father. And I think really he's just a sweetheart of a guy, probably, as long as you're respectful and things like that. So I think that's one individual, where you just gotta maintain and keep it up for the fans, because the moment he lightens up, it's over.
Oh yeah, the moment he lightens up, he loses all of his rap cred, quote unquote.
I mean, the number one thing that really gives it away, if you remember, his old music videos of like the real Slim Shady and things like that, he's just a big goofball. And then his interview in the movie, The Interview, of him coming out as gay. You could tell he's got a great sense of humor.
Oh
so
yeah, definitely.
That proved to me right away. I was like, oh, he's probably a really cool guy. This is all for TV.
I get what you're saying. So, back to what you were saying about channel critiques, if you mind jumping around a bit. Sorry to bounce around like a madman.
Ask away. I do it all the time in conversation.
So, if you had the opportunity to change something about your channel, something that was entirely out of your control, or even something small, what would you change?
So, like something I'm aware of that should be better, but I have yet to do it, or I probably don't have the means to?
Yeah. Something you either have the inability to make better, or you just can't make it better. There's not a way.
I would say editing can always be better. Like, there's always something more you could do. Like, for me, for someone who's trying to be a dedicated content creator, you will spend hours and hours editing. And for me, because I love working with audio, almost every single video I'm making, I'm recording the audio separately, which means I gotta sync it up with the camera, I gotta sync it up sometimes with the green screen. And if I do a song cover, I've gotta try to memorize as much of the lyrics as I can. I'm typing in all those subtitles. There's a lot of factors that come into play, and it could only be for like a minute or two of video, and I'm not even an animator. So I would say editing can always be better. Even the big channels, the huge channels we have, they're always getting better.
Yeah.
Look at Shane Dawson. He was already big.
Yeah, and his 12-part expose was major for his channel.
Yeah, a year ago, or maybe even 2 years ago, I should say, it was just saying, hey, what's up, you guys? Yes. And he would just try foods, stare straight into a camera, do conspiracy theories, and he's just being his fun, silly self. And then he had the courage and decided to make the jump.
The docuseries.
To completely change the type of content he was creating.
And succeeded at it.
Yeah, he hired a camera guy. He didn't have that for years. And, he not only improved the production quality, but you really saw more of his personality and what he loves. And the editing really comes into play. A great example is the music of the timing of the different types of music to use the mood or the intensity. It's the same thing, for example, on the show Hot One on First We Feast with Sean Evans.
I've been watching Hot Ones as well. I really enjoy that show.
Whoever puts in the music and sounds is not getting paid enough.
Oh yeah,
Really is one of the big factors.
Their timing and delivery of those audio tracks is very much spot on. Like, they are very good at what they do.
But referencing back to the Shane Dawson, so because he's spending a lot more time now editing and really polishing up good content, obviously that means he can't upload as much anymore, but because it's better quality, people are more than willing to wait, and he's doubled his following because of this.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's on YouTube. It's very hard for someone who watches YouTube a lot to not know who he is now. because of the great content that he's doing.
I feel like another creator with a similar issue is JonTron. Like, I would love for JonTron to upload weekly videos, but at the quality that he's doing them, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Sure. You know, obviously it's going to vary on the content.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I think what's amazing is I see a lot of people that are trying to be vloggers, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a great audience for it, and if you're good with it and you're just being yourself, great. But I've seen a couple channels where they send me to critique their videos, and they're literally mimicking, frame by frame, same song, same persona, just like David Dobrik. And I'm like, first of all, you need to have a fantastic group of friends that are not only great on camera, but they're just naturally funny and witty. But honestly, successful vloggers usually have somewhat of an extravagant lifestyle. So unless you can just be really funny with nothing or not have a lot of money in general, it's really hard to stand out in that.
No, I get entirely what you mean. If you don't have the means to do it on a large scale, it's just not as interesting for people, and then they end up trying to copy these large creators and just kind of look kind of gimmicky.
Oh yeah. There's so many different ways to create something on this platform. My first thing would always be consistency. Be yourself. Please yourself before others. If you don't love what you do, it will show. I don't care how good of an actor you can try to be.
No, so. I totally get what you're saying there. I mean, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're perfectly fine. Yeah, but I think for a lot of people, usually on average, if you can make your first 100 videos, up to 100 videos, and that's assuming you're always trying to improve along the way, after about your first 100 videos or so, you should be able to know how consistent, how efficient you can be. And you can actually probably be able to upload weekly, and even more than once if you're able to. I used to just do once a week, but that's because I had a very demanding job when I first started out 3 or 4 years ago. And then I learned over time just how to be efficient. I bought good software. I spent hours and hours. I'm self-taught, like a lot of people. So I learned audio, I learned editing, policies, copyright, things like that, trying to make good content. And now I'm at the point where I can upload 3 times a week. You know, so...
I'll get there one day. I'm sitting at the once a week right now with this. And it will be more consistent moving forward, as long as nothing extremely drastic happens. Know what I mean?
Well, to be really consistent, you gotta prep things ahead of time. That's the only way you're able to do it. I mean, you look at channels. What's a good example? Well, aside from Shane Dawson, the Try Guy. I mean, they're probably hitting record at least, I would say, a month before that video even comes on screen on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, it's just people that usually can upload daily, where it's not like just from their phone. Like, it's not trashy or like just cheap or no effort whatsoever. You know, these are people that are recording and editing and have a finished video ready to go way ahead of time, which is why, you know, what's great about this scheduling tool in YouTube. So I'll get to the point where I could, because you know, big channels do that, Markiplier and other people. So yeah, I would say if you can only do once a week because you're either a busy individual or it takes a lot of time to make a video, that's perfectly fine. But I would say if you can't upload at least once a week, it's going to be very hard to grow.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, even right now, like this video we're recording right now this won't come out for 2 weeks. You know, it's just because of like when I have it planned to, like, if I'm doing it consistently once every Wednesday, I've already got the one I recorded before this done, which will be coming out this week, and this one will come out the week after. Know what I mean?
Sure, absolutely. Now I have a question for you.
What's up?
Is it once a week because you can't find enough guests, or is it because of you don't have the time to finish the video?
Neither, actually. I mean, the guests aren't really an issue. I have no problem recording alone or even just my girlfriend. But, I mean, the issue is that sitting down and doing the editing, I only have a couple nights off a week, you know? And the weekend is just, it's record time. I schedule as many people as possible to fit within the weekend schedule. And then I'll edit the week of video on Tuesday, the day before it's supposed to come out.
Completely understandable.
So, I mean,
when I started out, all I had was one day on the weekend. So I totally get what you're saying.
So I'll, like, bank 2 or 3 videos on a weekend, sometimes 4 on a good weekend. This weekend I got 2. You and Lucas, you know?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, being ahead like that is great, as long as I can keep my stuff in order. Know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to, scheduling and prepping is really a big thing. I'll have days where I don't want to make a video. I'm burnt out, or if I'm trying to keep up with the schedule, but I might have a crunch time, I'll sometimes do little bits at a time if I have to. I'll record one day, but that's it. It's just a raw recording. I'll leave it alone, and then I'll edit the next day. And that way, on the day it's supposed to upload, I only have like an hour left of polishing up, and it's good to go.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
Time management, it really is a big factor if you want to be consistent.
I understand that. The only problem with doing it this way, with this type of content, is I miss talking about big stories or big movie releases because, well, the video I'm recording when this thing is popular won't come out for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's an issue with this type of content.
Oh yeah, no. You're uploading once a week. You're doing great. I was more just curious.
Oh no, questions are fine. I mean, this is an open conversation. Which is, you know, kind of the difference between this and just any regular old interview is I don't feel like this is an interview. I feel like this is a conversation. You know, like we could trail off on anime or we could talk seriously about YouTube. The guy I had on, you know, recorded with yesterday, Lucas, we talked about physics for like 45 minutes. It was great.
Hey, bazinga. There you go.
Well, to just go ahead and keep things trucking, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping things up, if that's good with you.
No worries, my friend. Sounds great.
Alright, so, thank you everybody, and especially thank you, David, for coming on here and doing this with me.
My pleasure, brother. It was wonderful, and I wish you nothing but great success.
I'm gonna try. If you would, please shout out all your things, send people your direction, get everything, you know, moving your way.
Well, like we kind of mentioned in the beginning, I'm just a really nice guy who's a voice actor who likes to create something and collaborate with people on YouTube. It's called David Stylz, Stylz. If you want to ever check it out, have a big variety, but it's not for everybody. I know that. So I love what I do, and that's all I can appreciate for. So yeah, other than that, check out this guy. Keep watching this guy. He's a really nice guy to talk to.
I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Alright, it's time for us to go watch the Super Bowl, my friend. Let's get ready.
Oh yeah, let's end this stuff. I didn't even mention that we were recording this on Super Bowl Sunday. Happy Super Bowl, everybody.
Alright, brother. Peace out.
Have a good one. Have fun. Be safe. Bye, everyone. End the recording. Boop.